Hello everyone, movie lovers out there. How you guys doing? I am doing great. Today is a very special day. I dressed up nice because I'm on my way to Burbank, California, which is about an hour from me or so, maybe a little later than that, depending on traffic. I'm meeting up with director Paul Bennell, who directed the film The Ghastly Love of Johnny X. He's invited me and a bunch of other people to see a 35mm film print of his film in the theater in a screening room somewhere. I'm looking forward to meeting him, talking with him, and checking out the film again. I've seen it on DVD, but this is the way you really should see a movie. You gotta see a movie like this in the theater on a 35mm print, black and white. So looking forward to seeing him, traveling on my way to Burbank, California again, and hopefully have a safe trip. So I'm gonna shut this off, get back to you in a little bit, hopefully have some footage for you, maybe an interview, vlog about this, and hopefully you'll stay for the ride. All right guys, talk to you soon. Paul?
Have you ever heard of this movie?
I don't know, man.
I always keep one of these in my back pocket. And you know, what, the funny thing is about really good cinema is that it gets better every time you see it. Let's go watch the movie, shall we?
Yeah. Nice car. Look at that car. Look at that. Oh.
So just sign wherever you want. Oh, it doesn't matter. You can
I don't want to sign over.
Where did
I sign here on the back?
There you go. Yeah. Just your name and Mr. Projector. You can sign a few of these up.
Wow. So now we're trying to find another one.
Chad? Wrong place. Too far down. Right there.
Thanks, Paul.
Right in here.
You ready, Jed?
I'm ready to see my movie.
This is informal because I was going to be here all by myself. And which is fine. I come here a lot to work. So I thought, you know, since I've got the room, why not send out an invitation? Anybody would like to see the movie? I think most of you have seen the movie.
Not the real way.
Well, you haven't seen it, and 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 you haven't. Well, you've seen it on DVD.
Yeah, but not the real way.
But this is a neat way to see it because, you know, it's film, and I need to check out this new. Part of these reels are brand new. I printed up some reels because one of the prints that went around a lot of the theaters started getting a lot of scratches on it. So I'm a film collector, so I wanted to get a nice clean print. So anyway, you know, hope you enjoy this little thing. And the bathrooms are downstairs. There's some water over there. Just ignore me if I'm in the back and start, you know, yelling about some bad time. It'll be So yeah, come back and join us, won't you? All right.
Wow, it's been a pleasure and an honor to actually be here at Photochem and get to see a film on film.
Yes. Well, you know, you don't usually get to see a film on film these days. What is a movie? A motion picture. It's a moving image.
Now
right?
It's like a digital form.
Well,
for movie picture. It still looks good, but
you know, we made a digital movie. Of course,
yeah.
I mean, we took a film print, a fine grain print, and we scanned it at the highest possible, you know, resolution at Photochem here in Burbank, California, which is the last lab standing for motion pictures. They do all movies.
Yeah, what kind of movies have they done here?
They've done, well, you know, some pornos. No, just kidding. You can edit that. No, they've done a lot of great stuff here. You know, I mean, basically a lot of your new releases. They've done House of Cards for Netflix.
Really?
Yeah.
Love that show.
They did the restoration of one of my all-time favorite movies. It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
Sid Caesar.
This is one of the last. This is probably the only lab around that does large format. That's 70mm, and you know the large format stuff. I mean, I can't name all their credits, but I know they've done restorations of classic movies, like All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But anyway, and they've done The Ghastly Love of Johnny X. Which
Yes, and that's why we're here today.
and it's the thing about Johnny X is that it's the very last movie ever shot on Kodak Plus X film stock, the black and white film stock, which is really cool. I mean, we didn't plan it that way, but it just kind of, worked out as we were finishing the movie. Kodak said, we're putting an end to Plus X. Not enough people are using it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to finish this movie. So I called my Kodak rep and we ordered all the film that Kodak had left of Plus X film stock. And it's a very fine grain black and white stock. And you saw the movie in there today.
Yeah.
I mean, could you see how gorgeous that film stock looks?
I love the way black and white movies look blown up like that.
Yeah.
I think that just adds it. And of course, it was, we've seen it through the reel.
Yes.
So it gives you that feeling of just being a lot older than it really is.
Well, I've had a few people...
I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few people that wanted to blow up my movie, but,
We
No,
won't go there.
it's a great thing, and it does look awfully real, awfully R-E-E-L. Oh, I love...
Yes.
Oh, boy, because when I was a younger guy, I used to do movie reviews. Before the internet, I had a phone line where you could call up, and I called it the movie line. So I would review movies every single week, and that's why I like what you're doing, Chad, because you remind me of me.
Yes.
Without a beard. And
I was going to shave today, but I just
Yeah.
figured, what the hell? We're meeting for the first time.
Yeah.
How does it look what I look like? So.
But I mean, I love movies, and I made this movie simply to entertain people. I mean, and we realize it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but there are a lot of people out there that really like the movie, and I'm thrilled about that. And what can I say? My next one will be better.
I really hope to. I'd love to see that, and I'd love to, if I can, wink, wink. But I'd love to be a part of that. That would be somehow be a part of that.
Yeah. Well, we need a water boy if you want to.
Yeah, I'll be a water boy.
Well, we get you in there, as a production assistant. Look,
I don't care. It's just a pleasure to meet you, man.
Well, I've done every job. I've been an extra. I've been in, I've worked on Spielberg, Scorsese, and Tim Burton movies. I've been in some of those movies in the background.
Yeah.
I've been a production assistant and a director, and everything in between. So I understand, I mean, to me, there's no small job. Only small actors,
Yeah.
Like those little people that we put in the movie. But that's another story.
Well, just to let you know, we did see a real production through projected of this film. The movie is called The Ghastly Love of Johnny X. I got it on DVD. You signed it about a month ago. I know you contacted me about the end of 2013. We've been talking, and now we're finally meeting. And I was really looking forward to this because I really wanted to see your movie. Even though I've seen it already on DVD, I wanted to see it like you should see a movie like this.
Well, thanks, Chad. I appreciate it. And, I extended the invitation because I knew that you were a real movie lover, and I wanted you to experience the movie the way I had intended it to be seen.
Yeah.
The DVD looks great.
It does.
We're hoping for a Blu-ray, but you can buy the DVD right now through Amazon or eBay. People sell it.
Netflix streaming. If you just want to see the film.
Yep.
Netflix streaming is the way to go.
And you know what? I'm going to offer, for any of you guys out there that's watching this podcast right now by my good friend Chad here, if you tweet or review on Amazon or something and say, hey, I love the movie, blah, 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 or I didn't love the movie, you've got to watch the movie
Yeah,
first.
watch the movie, please.
Watch the movie first. We don't want any cheating here. And then if you contact me through the Facebook page and say, hey, I left this review about your movie, I will send you an autographed poster of The Ghastly Love of Johnny X. So, So,
or somewhere around here, the big poster.
We've got a big poster,
Big poster.
I'm not going to show it to you. It's going to have to be a surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, while supplies last, okay? If I get 500 requests, obviously, I'll go broke on the postage. But, I love to do stuff for the fans.
I would appreciate that. And yeah, I would hope that if you are a subscriber of mine, or if you're also a movie reviewer like me, part of We Live Film, check out the movie on Netflix and then go on Amazon and do a review about it. And they'll send you a poster. That's awesome.
Oh, did I just say I would do that?
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. No, I will do that.
But I'm really curious. I want to find out, just share a few moments of the making of the film. I know it took forever to make the film. Can you share anything with my viewers of what really took to make this film? To actually, to see it. 1 hour and 46 minutes, I believe the film is. And it took how long to make this film?
That's what 20 minutes of credits. Honestly, it was a span, it took about 35 days to shoot. But we span that out over like between 6 years.
Wow.
You know, and then
dedication.
I shot some stuff in 2002, and then I got the actors in 2004, finished it in 2010, post-production in 2011, put it out in 2012, so, you know, it's been a real labor of love, and I'll say the one thing it took to get this movie finished was never giving up.
Yeah.
I think I had that stick-to-itivity that maybe Robert Sherman once, the Sherman Brothers wrote a song about that for Disney, but I never gave up on my dream. I always believed and visualized making the movie, and I think that's what got the movie made and finished, you know, and I left no stone unturned, and finally found a guy that would give me the money to finish the movie, which was just about when I was about ready to give up, because you have to remember, we started with the actors in 2004, and every year is going by and I'm going, you know, even if I do get the money, are the actors going to still want to come back and do the movie? Are they going to look the same? Or are they going to get fat? Or are they going to lose their hair? You know, I mean, thank God I was the only one that aged. You know, I was just a child when we started.
I think I saw you in the movie, make a cameo. So you
I did, you know. I looked
when was that shot? What
that
year
was shot back in the 60s.
Well, that's what the great. This vibe does have a movie of like that time period as well. It doesn't say that's in any time period.
No,
but it does have that feeling. For me, it does have that feeling.
Yeah,
in some sort of time period.
Yeah, the movie was never directly set in the 50s or 60s, but it has a sensibility to it. I mean, I didn't want to pinpoint any one period. It's just got a bunch of nostalgia in there. It's in an alternate universe. It takes place today.
Oh, okay.
But it's kind of...
Yeah, because I did notice some little technology that was from today.
Yeah, it's like an alternate universe kind of thing, you know, and that's what I decided to do, you know, like an alternate setting, and we don't really say when it takes place.
No, that's, it's all up to the viewer. I guess it's up like, oh, when do you think it takes place?
Yeah, when do you think it takes place? So a lot of people are mistaken about that, but you know what? I don't generally talk about the movie or what it means to me, because it means something to me, and I had personal reasons for wanting to make the film, things that inspired me to make the movie. But when somebody sees the movie and there are things in there that they love, you know, or they believe it's a certain way, I let them go with it, because I don't try to correct them, because that would be ruining their experience. If I told them what certain things really meant, then you guys wouldn't, you go, oh, that wasn't how I saw it. So, you know, whatever it means to you. What does the movie mean to you, Chad? I mean, what?
It's a love letter, I think, also to just cinema itself and being just different and unique and weird. You know, what cinema probably started out, you know, people just shooting something, it was bizarre, it was weird, maybe it was just two people kissing.
Yeah.
Or it's just two people running, or the train, that image of that train coming, and learning about the silent era and the train coming, and people getting scared at the screen, because, oh my gosh, the train's coming our way, but it was just... because they weren't used to that.
You're talking about the Great Train Robbery, made in 1903, which was the very first movie with a plot.
I don't want to say your film is like those films. I just want to say I think it's a love letter to those kind of movies. You know, the craziness that comes with movies, the way to tell a story in a unique, different way that's not, you know, the same old stuff we've seen before.
You know, the one thing I wanted to do, Chad, is I wanted to make a movie that wasn't like a movie that you can see now. I wasn't really trying to go for this nostalgia, retro thing, but what I was trying to do was tell a story in a slightly unconventional way and do a different kind of a movie that was unique, like something you can't go see. It's not cookie cutter, you know, it's something you don't see a lot of these days. My pacing was deliberately a little slower, you know, the style of the acting, I was very, very careful about directing the actors, and I'm very particular about directing because I usually don't sit on a chair and look at a monitor. I get right up in their face and watch them, because I believe if I'm watching an actor standing a few feet away from them, it brings their energy level up. And Sluggo will tell you about that.
Yeah, speaking of actors, come over here, Jed. Just talk over.
I want to interrupt
Put your head.
This is the Cousin Quilty.
Put your head back here.
Cousin Quilty show.
I don't know what he did. I'm not an actor, so
kneel down and talk to these people.
Yeah. Hello, we got Jed Rowan.
Thank you.
Who plays Sluggo? You might have to come down a little.
Oh yeah,
come down here.
No problem.
About our heads, this is kind of where it's at.
Pray that this works.
I know framing.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you about, for example, with Jed, you know, I mean, he had a lot of tricky things to do in the movie, and the role started out a little smaller, but in between the 6 years, we expanded some of the parts and we added musical numbers.
Yeah, that's what I like. I always want to talk about that too, but now we have Jed here.
Yeah.
His character, you think, is not really that important to the plot. And I don't want to give anything away.
We keep him quiet.
Yeah,
it's like you
quiet.
don't know that this guy in the background all of a sudden is going to become a major player.
A major player. That's all I want to say. For
Yeah.
people who haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil anything. Go ahead,
Right.
Jed. Speak about something that you miss most about making this movie.
Well, you know, I'll just say this. Johnny X was the most a combination of most professional, most fun, most adventurous, most creative. I mean, for me, it was just across the board. It was just the best thing I've ever done. So, if you want more of a critical analysis of the movie, I'm not really the guy.
No, he's not really the guy. But it's $2 bucks.
It's like, oh yes, thank you.
No,
it's like you said when I first met you. It's
Yeah.
like what I liked immediately was the fact that yes, you are a film critic, but you're more of an enjoyer of movies.
Well,
first.
that's who we made the movie for. I made the movie for people that love movies because I love movies, and this is the kind of movie that I would think would be cool if I'd go out and find a movie like this. So again, it's not for everybody. It's very polarizing.
Yeah.
You either like it or you hate it, or you love it or you don't like it.
To me, it's weird. It is weird. It's a weird film.
Covered the whole thing.
It's a weird film, but I think it is accessible. I think this is a movie where I was trying to explain to my mother what's it about, and I was trying to well, it's a musical, and there's, it's kind of centered in a time period where you were a teenager,
and it's sci-fi.
And it's sci-fi. My dad loved the sci-fi element.
Cool. Yeah.
But that's what I grew up on that because my parents grew up on that kind of stuff. Like Invasions from Mars, Terror from Beyond Space. But I'm not saying that movie's like this. I'm just saying it's kind of in that same vein. So I think they can appreciate it for that. I'll tell you, the biggest thing that I appreciate about this movie is that you put music in, and I love the music.
I love
the score itself. But then on top of that, you put in like 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah, about 5 or 6. Yeah, what we did was we decided to go with the West Side Story. Type of song. I could have put rockabilly, hard rock songs in the movie, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to go for like musical theater type stuff because I'm a fan of West Side Story and those old-fashioned musicals.
He's not really a Motley Crue kind of.
No, I'm not Motley Crue.
You want to? Would you? I mean, if it was possible, would you like to at least turn this into some sort of off-Broadway musical?
Oh yeah, they're working on a version.
Oh my God, that would be great because
Yeah.
I would say hopefully those 6 songs that you had in the film could be in there, and then shoehorn a bunch of other songs in there.
Yeah, well, we love Johnny X, and I think it's going to slowly but surely find its audience, or its audience will find it. Meanwhile, I want to make more movies because, I started making movies as an 11-year-old kid, just loving movies and dreaming one day of making a real movie. Well, I've made some other movies, but this is my biggest to date. I mean, it's something that I'm almost proud of. I mean, I'm pretty thrilled to have made this movie on film.
And I want to ask you a couple more things. How was it fun being the bad guy? Fun playing the bad guy?
I came out to Hollywood.
Great, Jed. Anyway, you know what? I'm sorry. Did I just? Oh boy.
That's all I wanted to say.
Finish.
I came out to Hollywood wanting to be a bad guy. One of my big influences was Clarence Boddicker from RoboCop, Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I want to play bad guys, and being in a bigger movie finally, Paul gave me the opportunity to play the main villain, and I was just all over it. I absolutely, it's a great question because that's what I came out here to do. Among other roles.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, not to talk like this movie's anything special, but Jed and I and others have always felt that the movie had a destiny.
Thank you.
Because things came together when they were supposed to happen. I mean, we've got very discouraged waiting to try to get the thing.
Quit after like a year.
I mean,
You're like, they're done.
I would not give up. I was like this tenacious. I just never gave up. I never quit. And even when people were like thinking, it was almost getting to be a joke. It's like, Paul, you're still trying to make that movie. I hate to say it, but even Jed called me at one point and said, bro, give it up.
No, I didn't
It's
say
over. You didn't say that? Oh, that must have been the other guy.
Yeah.
There are 2 Jeds in this movie.
That was the other Jed, his twin brother. No, but you know,
And at the 11th hour, it just all came together.
it all came together.
Almost miraculously, and now you just see the movie
Yeah,
after,
you know.
after it's made runs all around theaters in the country and
Yeah.
around the world, but it's being kept alive
It's being kept alive by
by streaming.
Yep. mhm.
And people are talking about it more and more, and I really think the film is just getting its legs. It's slowly getting its audience. It's getting
Yeah.
its following.
It'll
you
find
know?
a place, in cinema history. But I will
And in
say,
shows like this that are going.
well,
to
we appreciate you doing this, Chad.
Well,
but-
I appreciate you that phone. I mean, that text on Facebook saying,
Well,
I'm a filmmaker. I made this movie, and I like your stuff.
Yeah.
And then your movie to be a movie that I've actually heard about. And I was like, I've been wanting to see this movie, but it never got released in my area, at least. And
yeah,
so
it did
was
get
great.
released in California.
It
but
was-
very limited.
Anyways, I
Yeah.
appreciate the phone call, so I could see the film, promote the film, and also now see it the right way.
Well, if you guys can see it in a theater, of course, that's the place to see it, but
Yeah.
it's not running in theaters anymore except for special art house things. But I encourage you to get the DVD. It helps us, I mean, I didn't make any money making this movie. My wife and I, we took out a second mortgage on our house to start it. So,
She
I mean,
did the wardrobe, which
yeah.
is incredible.
And, so it was really a labor of love, it really was. So. I mean, our heart was in the right place. I wasn't doing this for selfish reasons. It's not a vanity project. It's just, I love movies and I want to make something that I hope many people will like.
Yeah.
And, not everybody likes everything, but, we've had a interesting time of it with this film.
Yeah, I honestly, after watching this movie now twice, I just feel like this is a movie that I think maybe everyone will not, get it or understand it, but it's so accessible. I mean,
But
it's
that's
like
okay,
a movie
because-
that I think as it'll grow,
Yeah.
it'll find a bigger audience, and at the same time I think film lovers will love it because it's just
Right.
so unique, and it's film lovers, musical lovers will love it, the weird songs.
There's a little of
the odd
something for
songs.
everyone,
Yeah.
and the people who will get it, that are supposed to get it will find the movie.
And don't forget my stunt work.
And don't forget his stunt work.
And I do want to mention that I really love the cast. I mean, it's just a colorful array of cast. Of course, we got Creed from The Office. He's probably the most notable besides Paul Williams, and of course Kevin McCarthy.
Kevin
who's-
McCarthy,
I
it's
don't
his
mention
last movie.
film.
Reggie Bannister from Phantasm.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that girl that played Dandy Connor, she was a little girl in The Secret Garden.
Oh,
She's
that's
a
right.
British actress, Kate Maberly.
Oh.
Wonderful.
That when you told me that and I put that in, I was like,
Yeah.
I love The Secret Garden. It's one of my favorite kids movies from growing up.
But and then we got Will Keenan from Romeo and Juliet and all those cult films, and
Aaron Ball, somewhere around here somewhere.
Aaron Ball and a Discovery.
Mr. Projector.
And
Oh, we already talked to you.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
this guy.
No, but I want to say probably sorry, Jed.
And
but my
Deanna-
favorite
Deanna Joy
act-
Brooks.
My favorite actor
yeah,
in the whole
Deanna.
movie is Bliss. Is he? She's mentioned
awesome.
Bliss.
Deanna Joy Brooks. I discovered her.
I hope that she's watching this near the end. She stayed for the probably a half an hour video.
Please
This is gonna be. But what's her name?
Deanna Joy Brooks.
Deanna Joy Brooks. You steal the movie. It to me. When you just appear on screen and everything that you do, that musical number that you're doing with the soda jerk guy, and you're grabbing him and jumping around him, I'm watching the movie again and I'm like,
She
she steals the movie.
She is an untapped, find. I mean, she's somebody that to me is like Peter Sellers. She's the female Peter Sellers.
Yeah.
I could put her in the movie and give her like 5 parts.
Yeah.
And she would be amazing in all the parts. She's like a chameleon.
I told her
Yeah.
she's 1 in a million.
Yeah.
She isn't. She didn't respond to that email, but she really is a 1 in a million actress.
We love Deanna, and I love Caroline Macy, who plays Miss Robin in the movie. So many. I mean, basically,
There's a
everybody.
lot of people. I just want to say that she just stood out.
I mean, the only people,
Awesome.
in my opinion, that are really short on talent were the midgets. But I'm so
Little
sorry.
people, little
I
people.
shouldn't say. I shouldn't say midget. I love all small.
All right, to close this
You
out.
like his sense of humor, huh?
No,
That's
no,
good.
we've
You like some jokes.
Skyped before. We've Skyped.
I'm so sorry.
We've Skyped
Yes.
for a couple hours. We
All
didn't
right.
get a chance to get to know. Before we go, I just want to, I'm part of an association called the Long Beach Acting and Film Association.
Yeah.
Which deals with young filmmakers, actors, actresses that are working in Long Beach and also in Los Angeles. And there are a lot of people that are working and working and working.
Mm-hmm.
What advice could you give someone who is a young filmmaker that's trying to get their project made? What
Well,
kind of advice?
My advice is just jump into it and do it. When you have an idea that seems right, it feels right, don't wait for somebody, just find a way. Get your camera, even if it's a little digital camera, go and do it. The only reason why I had to do my movie on a bigger level was because I've been making movies since I was a kid, And I wanted to do this. I realized that Johnny X had to be done at a certain level. We had to do it on 35 millimeter. I wanted it black and white when everybody said don't do it. So my advice to you is just don't give up and don't let somebody tell you you cannot do it. Because if you listen to the naysayers and the negative people and the haters or whatever, I mean, you're never going to get your movie. You're going to start believing what they tell you. So just forget about it. Go do it, even if it sucks. I mean, you did it, okay? I mean, Johnny X isn't a perfect movie. I mean, but you know what? I did it. I did it. I followed my dream. I followed my passion. I just made my movie. I didn't know how I was, when I started the movie, I didn't know how I was going to finish it, but I found a way to finish it because I visualized it. So visualize your dream, go for it, and just, I think everybody should make a movie. Chad, I think you should make a movie. Everyone should make at least...
I got some movies I made when I was a kid.
Everybody should make at least one movie. Even Jed here. Well,
Yeah.
Jed's made a lot of movies, but you know what I mean. So everybody should make a movie and never give up on your dream because that's what happens when you don't give up. You turn into this. A crazy guy with glasses.
Well, now you're and you made a fine film. I really enjoyed your film, especially seeing it the way you've seen. I think I'm just going to grow on me, and I would love to see this in a Broadway format in some way or another, musical, with add more music. Hopefully you can get the same composers and who collaborated on that because it just it's different. It's so weird, unique and different. I love it.
We're working on a stage adaptation now,
Yes.
based with songs. We're adding more songs, so I'm excited to see what they do with it. It'll be a smaller production, but you got to start small and work your way up. But meanwhile, I got a couple of other movies that I'm starting to get into pre-production. So we'll see what happens.
I hope that you keep in touch, man. And
like they say with
all three of
IMAX.
us.
Oh yeah,
You gotta think
I just
big.
got your friend request on
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah.
So you're
Which means a lot. I mean, once you're friends on Facebook, you're really truly friends.
All right,
Right.
Chad. Well, thank you for plugging the Gas and Love of Johnny X on Netflix or on DVD.
Wait, Amazon, is it on? You said it's Amazon, right?
It's on Amazon,
Yep,
yeah.
Amazon.
Right. Or go to my website.
What's the website?
It's johnnyxmovie.com, JOHNNYX movie. And Facebook is also, there's the Ghastly Love of Johnny X on Facebook.
Awesome. And final words, Jed?
Rock and roll.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm Movie Man Chad.
Yes, he is.
This is Jed Rowan.
And I'm Paul Bonnell, and you are...
Movie Man Chad again.
Deja Vu.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Again, go check out The Ghastly Love.
Go check out the Ghastly Love of Johnny X.
Rock and roll.
All right, and you want to see this movie right here.
Wait, I want to say a few more things. Go to WeLiveFilm.com, subscribe to that channel on We Live Film. Also go to Long Beach Acting and Film Association right here on Facebook and Twitter. Please also go to MoviePilot.com, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click right around here and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much to Jed and Paul for doing this video with me. Please. Yeah, I appreciate it so much. Have a great day, and again, please check out The Ghastly Love of Johnny X. So ghastly.